Right, members, welcome to Hythe Dibden Parish Council's first ever virtual meeting. We always start with a moment's silence, and I would like to dedicate it this time to the members of our community that we've sadly lost during the current crisis. A moment's silence, please. Thank you, everyone. Now to business. This is the first time we've done this, everyone here will be sitting on this meeting in an individual place with an individual set of circumstances. So I ask all of you and anybody watching this to forbear us as we go through this first attempt. Some tips for members: please have your microphones on mute at all times unless you are introduced to speak by myself, and to get that introduction you need to put RTS on the group chat column. If we are having a vote, I will call you by name and you vote either for, against or abstain. Now, I'm going to ask you all, for the benefit of any audience, to tell me if you are present. I will call you by name and I wish you to tell me if you are present. I'm going to start with Councillor Mark Clark.
Present.
Councillor Rebecca Clark.
Present.
Councillor Sean Cullen.
Present.
Councillor Sandra Delamere. I know you're there, but you've gone quiet. She's muted. Can she be unmuted, please?
Yeah, we're clicking the buttons, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Sandra, you there? Present? I can see she's there.
Mr. Chairman, Simon's just texted me, just say he will be along shortly.
Okay, that's good. Okay, well, we'll move on. Councillor Alan Councillor Philip Dowd.
Present.
Councillor Alan Fairhead.
Present.
Councillor Matthew Kitcher. He's not here at the moment. Councillor Simon Lodge, you've just said he's on the way. Councillor David Marshland.
Present.
Councillor Stephanie Osborne has given me her apologies. Councillor Melody Roberts.
Present.
Councillor Alex Wade.
Present.
And myself, I am surely present. Okay, that gives over some of the sort of detail to start with. Now to the official council meeting minutes and notes. Apologies officially from Councillor Stephanie Osborne. Can we record that, please? Okay. Right, item 2 is declarations of interest and dispensations. To note any declarations of interest made by members in connection with an agenda item, members to specify the nature of the interest. Have we had any clerk, deputy clerk? No, I say that's no. Right, to receive any written requests for dispensation for disclosure of pecuniary interest. Have we had any of those?
You've got Councillor Alex Wade calling.
Yes, Alex.
Just purely to ask the question, if we as a council need to declare with regards to one of the planning applications for May, which was for a former member of a political party who we know within this group and we would have worked with. We didn't comment as a planning committee, but as it's full council, do we need to declare a declaration of interest? In the particular item is at 20/10304, 37 Sir Christopher Court, and it's in page 27 of the agenda. It's a question if we need to comment.
As the planning committee did not comment on that, Tracy, do we need to declare any interest as Alex requested?
I don't believe so, no.
No, I don't think so either. Okay, Last one is to grant any requests for dispensations appropriate. We've not had any. Right, item 3 is the standing orders, to receive an adaptation to the standing orders to allow virtual meetings and the continuation of where we are at the moment. Tracy, do you want to add about this report, or Sean, do you want to jump in? Who wants to say anything? One of you want to say anything?
If I can just explain that the standing orders are temporary for a year up until May 2021 to cover virtual meetings and unusual circumstances during the COVID outbreak. So they're just, we add them into our current standing orders. And
that includes the council positions that remaining as they are, presumably?
Yes, they do. Yes, you don't have to have an annual meeting.
Okay. All right, members, any questions on this?
Chairman, I propose we amend as it's requested. It's the only way we're going to get any work done during the this crisis.
Can I have a seconder for that?
Seconded.
Do we need a vote on that, Tracy, or are you happy with the?
I would just go for a vote that you adopt them.
We go. Okay, I'm going to have a vote that we adopt them. So I'm going to go down the list of councillors. Mark Clark.
Agreed.
Rebecca Clark.
Agreed.
4.
4.
Sean Cullen.
4.
Sandra Delamere.
4.
Philip Dowd.
4.
Alan Fairhead.
4.
Matt Kitcher's not here. Simon Lodge's not here. David Marshland.
4.
Stephanie Osborne's not here. Melody Roberts.
4.
Alex Wade.
4.
And myself, 4. So that is unanimous. Thank you very much. We now go to item 4, is the election of a vice chairman. Can I have a nomination, please?
Chairman, having worked with Councillor Philip Dowd on the Personnel Committee, I would suggest that he is an ideal candidate to be the vice chairman, and I so propose.
Can I have a seconder, please?
I would like to second.
Sorry.
You second it. Are there any other nominations? Therefore, Councillor Dowd, you are duly elected as vice chairman. Congratulations and well done. Thank you. We now move on to item 5, which is the minutes of the last meeting held on the 26th of February 2020, before it all started. That's on page 9 in your agenda. I will call out the pages one at a time, and I will request, I will request if you want to call any of them, just mention it. Right, we go to page 9. Page 10.
Sandra Delamere is calling you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Councillor Delamere. You need to unmute. Sorry, Alex. I've seen it now. Sandra, then Alex.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm having problems trying to unmute. There's an item I wanted to on the minutes, but I'm not sure that I'm going to get in quick enough as you go through them.
I'll go through
because I'm having
slowly.
problems. Yeah, well, it was just on the Remembrance Srebrenica. So when you get to it,
on what?
Please.
Sorry. What
Remembering Srebrenica.
Right,
Remembering
okay.
Srebrenica.
Yeah, I've got that.
Thank
one.
you.
Alex, you had wanted to say something?
No, it was to second the previous item,
Oh,
Chair.
okay. Okay, right, we'll start with page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Yes, Sandra. No, I've had that one. Sorry, page 14. Yeah, Councillor Delamere, you wanted to raise an issue. And welcome, Councillor Lodge. And welcome, Councillor Kitcher. Sandra, you wanted to say something on this one.
Yeah, sorry. It was just that obviously we've missed the time for the VE celebration, remembrance, and Srebrenica's on the 11th of July. I am still keen that we should do something, but I don't know if the sort of little working group is going to meet before then or what. That's all.
Okay, well, we'll discuss that after the meeting. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Page 14, page 15, and that is the last page. Are you all happy that that's a true record of the council meeting? Everybody happy with that?
Agreed.
Way. Good. Okay, good. Right, well, the next item on the agenda, he shows a page, is the chairman's announcement. You're really going to get fed up with listening to me at this rate. Anyway, okay. First of all, I would like to thank the local people of Hythe Dibden for their perseverance, courage and fortitude during this difficult period, and their continued commitment to helping us all get through this crisis together. I also want to pay tribute to those members of our community who have volunteered either for the NHS scheme or the local organisations such as Waterside Self-Isolation Group for their tireless efforts on behalf of those in isolation. This includes those individuals who may not be part of an organised group, but are helping their neighbours or friends with the problems of that isolation. It shows what a great community we have, and that together we will get through this, okay? And that leads me neatly onto talking about the parish council. Now, members and members of the public, the first thing I'm going to mention is about the ACSOs. We are still working towards bringing the ACSOs back to Hythe Dibden by the end of this calendar year. Yes, the COVID crisis has delayed the situation, as many other things, but we are still moving forward looking at the recruitment, and we're still working on getting them in this calendar year. That's our plan. Now, during this time of the crisis, the parish councils had to operate in a challenging environment, and it's had to look at doing things a little differently. Now, the KISS Council has acted as a liaison between private company, doctors, surgeons and care homes to identify any requirements for the organisations have for face shields. That item of PPE was sadly missing in a lot of areas. This council has been helpful. It's provided initial information and support to the Waterside Self-Isolation Group and subsequently offered assistance to the group to collect prescriptions from the chemists and deliver them to residents when isolating. Council staff have continued to work adhering to social distancing requirements following the closure of NFDC Information Office. Staff have responded to an increased number of telephone calls to the Grove from residents seeking information on New Forest District Council and Hampshire County Council. Officers have signposted residents to the relevant place using information supplied by both those authorities. There has been a notable increase in the requests for allotments. Quite understandable, I think you would find. The maintenance team have increased their work on the council's busiest amenity areas to cope with the increased usage by the public. Increased attention has been paid to the cleanliness of these facilities. We're always considering cleanliness as part of the safety for our local people. The caretaking staff have been redeployed to the maintenance team to undertake lone worker tasks such as painting benches, football goalposts. One of the caretakers has assisted the maintenance team to plant the summer bedding plants and install hanging baskets. And you all know how lovely and beautiful they look. The council is liaising with New Forest District Council about safe ways to reopen the information office located in the Grove. Potential solutions have been identified and work continues to make the information office available as soon as possible. Now, members and officers have worked together on creative solutions to some of the problems that have been thrown up by the virus. And one example is this one. Due to the closure of the New Forest car park and local beach car parks and the subsequent increase in use of public footpaths, pavements, some of our less able residents have found it difficult to get the exercise they need. Following discussions between the officers, myself and other councillors, the council reopened Nodes Open Space Facility and made a plea to the community to recognise the difficulties that some people were experiencing. The community responded to this plea, and as a result, the council has received this following message from a grateful resident, and I will read this out, it's not too long. Dear Mr. Wade, they wrote to me as the chairman. I'm writing to express my sincere thanks to Sean Spencer for quickly dealing with a problem that was occurred to him about 4 weeks ago. I've lived with my family in this area for over 40 years, and I've enjoyed the feeling of peace and quiet. I live on Water Lane, and I've always low on traffic, both motor and pedestrian. Since the beginning of the present emergency, residents from all over the area have advised to do their walking along Water Lane, as a result of which I, being disabled, found it difficult to walk slowly on my own road. I referred the matter to Stephanie Osborne, and outstandingly a solution involving Sean Spencer was found. Noseway Rec was to be made available exclusively to persons with restricted mobility from then on. I, and no doubt others, have walked safely and at our leisure. To me, this is the use of eminent good sense and a wish to help a group of people without troubling another. Could you please pass on my thanks to all concerned and offer you the congratulations having such forward-looking and helpful colleagues. Best wishes, John Darcy. I cannot pay tribute more. And this members brings me to the point that I would like to personally thank our staff for all the hard work that they have done in this challenging time and all the efforts they continue to put in for our community. And I'd just like to thank you too, members, for the help, your support and the work, coming up with innovative ideas and solutions, thinking of all different ways how we can help our community. Thank you all very much. It is most appreciated. Now, I'm afraid just a few more. I now have I think a note that's raised to me by Councillor Osborne. It's all about the Hythe Hospital. It's been going through meetings to decide on the aspects of the War Memorial. And she's requested, would this council like to write to the appropriate NHS body, really supporting Hythe Hospital as a War Memorial. It's an ongoing War Memorial. And also requesting that they move building the hospital as quick as possible. I'm sure a better form of words you can think of for that. Is it your agreement, members, that this council writes thus in support of Hythe Hospital and the reconstruction of it?
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay. Right, that one's done. The next item that Councillor Osborne sent a note on is about the A326 roundabout, in particular the one at Hythe roundabout. That is a subject of something from the general public, and I will raise that at that point. The next item comes from Councillor Fairhead. It's about the shed, Hythe shed. Councillor Fairhead has made vast progress to make this community project. Although it's not a council project, councillors are fully supporting the scheme, and Councillor Fairhead is watching closely the advice of the government to hopefully reopen it soon. And can I say, Alan, that's an excellent job you've done there, and all due tribute to your good self for getting it off the ground. Now, members, one more note. We're not having any individual reports from Hampshire County Council or New Forest District Councillors this month, as COVID-19 has interrupted a lot of democratic business quite significantly, as it has everything else. However, I can say that both councils and their members, like this council and its members, have been working for our local community. Hampshire County Council has its Help for Vulnerable People helpline 0333 370 4000, and has organised, along with the district councils, including New Forest District Council, the local hubs to help those vulnerable people identified on the government's list. In addition, both councils are maintaining their critical services through this time, be it the social services of Hampshire or the housing and waste services of New Forest. And a simple way, talking of waste, that individuals can help is by ensuring that when they start to go out now, take your rubbish home if there isn't a bin to put it in. Okay. Finally, members, the journey from lockdown has begun, and Hampshire County Council is holding a reduced member live annual meeting on Friday. The New Forest Planning Committee has been active for some weeks in virtual mode. There have been few task and finish groups meetings, but these will increase in virtual mode. So next month we should be able to have individual reports on council activity on both levels of councils. And that ends my announcements, unless the officers have got one I don't know about. Is that okay? Excellent. We now go to the public forum. Now, members of the public are invited to make representation to Parish Council in the current format by emailing in a question. I will read out the question and read out the answer. Okay. Now, I have had two. The first one is from Mr. Dorrit. He lives on Roman Road, Dibden Parish, has done for more than 30 years. In this time, we have seen traffic numbers and the noise that is associated with it grow substantially. The unofficial lay-by opposite has been eroded from allowing 1 or 2 cars to park to 13 or 14, and this continues to grow in size purely by people parking on where little grass is left. As far as the Dibden roundabout is concerned, since the deforestation on the roundabout, which took place several years ago, the speed of traffic negotiating the roundabout has increased massively along with the traffic noise, to the point where we hear motorcycles and cars, their engines screaming after exiting the roundabout for several minutes, and they must be travelling at exceptionally high speed, probably in excess of 100 miles per hour. We often see high-powered cars with their tyres screaming, trying to negotiate the roundabout, and some failing to do so, crashing into the middle of it. In addition, the bend off the roundabout into Roman Road, Applemore side, is far too sharp, tight, and there have been many minor accidents due to this. We've even had a car go through our hedge because they were going too fast to negotiate the bend. All in all, with the proposed development that fully goes ahead, without making substantial safety changes and speed restrictions to each of the roundabouts, local residents will be adversely affected. In my opinion, there needs to be traffic calming measures put into place on the approach and exits in all 5 roads leading up to and from Dibden Parish roundabout, allowing the regrowth of vegetation and reduce the speed of traffic as drivers are unable to see all the way around it. Yours sincerely. Right, well, the answer to that is twofold. First of all, he's not the only resident to have complained about traffic speeding along that section of the A326. And I have requested to Inspector Adams if the police traffic department would do a speed check on the A326 between Hythe roundabout and Hardley roundabout. She has confirmed with me that that request has been taken up, and there will be a speed check on that section of road by Hampshire Constabulary at some stage in the immediate future. As regards the roundabout and its issues, as you members know, we have been discussing this quite a lot by email quite a lot recently, because a number of residents have concerns, both from the perspective of cyclists and indeed modifications to the roundabouts. So what we're going to do as a council, we are going to get the cycling group to give us a presentation, and we're going to invite Hampshire County Council to come in and present to this council on their proposals for the modifications to the A326 and their proposals for the cycle routes. So that's what we're going to do. We will take on board the comments that Mr. Dorrit has very wisely put to us, and we'll see what they can do. Okay? Yeah, anybody wants to add anything to that? But that's the response on that one. Now, the second note from a member of the public is from a Mr. Hotchkiss. Hello, I walked through the High Street in Hythe the other day and was disappointed to see the full length of the street looking unkempt in detail. The floor had dust or grit and general detritus. I wish to make the meeting aware of this and ask that more attention be given to the general appearance of our High Street and also the marsh. The seating area and the floor outside the chip shop at the marsh are in disrepair, given the area's shabby run-down appearance. I'll be pleased to personally show you what I'm referring to. Well, first of all, street cleaning is undertaken by the New Forest District Council, and Mr. Hostage concerns raised about the High Street have been forwarded onto that authority, NFDC, this morning. The Parish Council did that on his behalf. The area outside the marsh, outside of the chip shop, is actually in private ownership. That isn't Hampshire County Council highway. It's not anyone else. It's private ownership. It belongs to I know this for another reason. It belongs to the people that own the buildings. But yeah, last year there was a substantial fire in the chip shop, which resulted in the premises being closed several months. I'm not sure they're reopened yet. I think the pavement is highway, but the bit outside it belongs to the to own it. So and I don't think we know actually, unless the officers can correct me, who the landlords of that area are.
Not off the top of my head, Chairman.
Well, what we could do is try and find out and write to them, explaining the issues that has been mentioned. Can we do that? Everybody happy with that? Cool. Good. Okay. Now that is the public forum over, and now I can have a small rest, and and you can listen to someone else. I'm going to call on Councillor Alex Wade to present the planning committee and minutes for the meeting held on the 11th of March 2020. Over to you, Alex.
Hello there, good evening everyone. Firstly, I would like to pay tribute to the officers, particularly Claire and Sean, because with planning over the last few months, we've had to adapt to the new process, and particularly April and May's planning. We've had to have effectively virtual meetings. We've all looked at the plans and the chair has sent information and our views to NFTC by an agreed time. The scheduled planning date it would have been normally. The effort of the councillors and the officers has been phenomenal, adapting quickly, and we've all been able to answer every application that's come in with a really thoughtful response. I just want to have it limited my thanks to councillors on the committee and the officers involved. Thank you. So the first thing I'm going to present to you today is probably the last meeting that we had in person, which was the March planning meeting. From page 17 in your agenda, I'm going to go through by page. And if anyone has any issues or challenges, please could I ask you to raise your hand. I will try and go through as slowly as possible and not rush through it, as is my habit normally. So this is the planning meeting on Wednesday, the 11th of March. I'm going to go through it by page. Are all councillors okay with this? Thank you. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. So do you all agree they're a fair and correct representation of the March planning meeting on the 11th of March?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. So the next item is relating to our planning lists received for April and May. As you know, firstly up to the 1st of April 2020. So we're going to start with page 21. These were the comments that I and the officers, thank you to your feedback councillors, sent on behalf of the parish council. So we start with page 21. Page 22. And then we move on to page 23. And lastly, page 24. Do you all agree they're a fair reflection of April's planning applications? Thank you. And lastly, and I apologise for talking too long, we go on to May's planning applications, which should be fresh in the memory. So starting on page 25 with a very high profile one in St Jude in Roman Road, as you can see from the rather long comments we made. Please let me know if you have any challenges to what is in there. Page 25. Page 26. And page 27. Thank you. Do we all agree they're a fair reflection of our comments on behalf of the Parish Council for May's planning applications in the parish? Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you. One last point. There was an amendment based on information received after April the 8th for one application in April, which is the Capers Restaurant in Dibden Parish. So we revised our comment and our decision. So it was a PAR 1 support with planning officers agreement. And you can see the updated comments and PAR number at the bottom of page 27. Are we all happy with this?
Yep.
Thank you ever so much. And that is all. Thank you very much.
We now go to item 9, which is the Personnel Committee, to receive and approve the minutes of the Personnel Committee held on the 26th of February 2020. I call on Councillor Philip Dowd to do so, please.
Good evening, councillors. We're on page 29 of the agenda. I'll go through each page in turn as we've had before. So we have page 29. Page 30. And page 31. Can I have a show of signs that everyone's happy with those minutes, and we're happy to agree them?
Agreed.
Thank you very much, councillors.
We now go on to item 10, which is the Communications Working Party, and I call on Councillor Clark to present the minutes. I know you weren't there, but you are Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, councillors. Just to present on page 33 and 34 of the reports pack, I present them to you as is. I hope you have an agreement on that.
Yeah, everybody
Thank you.
happy?
Thank you very much.
Okay, we now go on to the Christmas Lights and Mistletoe Fair Working Group to receive the notes of the Christmas Lights and Mistletoe Fair Working Group meeting held on the 27th of February. Now, there are 2 recommendations in this, and I call on Councillor Matt Kitcher to present this and present the recommendations.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Good evening, everyone. So first, we shall do the minutes of the Christmas lights, and I'm going to do them page by page if that's okay with everyone else. So I'm going to go page 35, page 36, page 37, and page 38. Can I have a show of hands for everyone that would agree then, please?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. So next, as you can see, there are 2 recommendations from the group. So number 1 is that the council increases the match funding paid to Hythe Live for Christmas lights from 1,000 to 1,100. Does anybody wish to speak, or anybody have a problem with that at all?
Chairman,
Yes.
Councillor Kitcher, I just want to ask the clerk, do we need to do a vote on this? Unmote.
Sorry, you do need to do a vote if you're asking for all members to agree that, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So you didn't hear, Matt, at the beginning that what we have to do. Actually, I'll manage the vote for you, okay? Because I've got a list, and everybody is going to vote for the recommendation, against it, or abstain. Is everybody clear on that?
Okay,
right. So I'll go through Councillor Clark, Mark Clark.
For Mr. Chairman.
Councillor Rebecca Clark.
Apologies, Chairman. I just noticed that somebody asked to speak. I didn't know if anybody wanted to add anything to the debate before we voted.
Did you,
sorry,
Alex? Sorry, good point. This is obviously you.
No,
Alex,
please.
It's a point of reference. It's a point of reference on the voting. Are we voting separately on the 2 recommendations?
Yes.
Or as them combined?
Tracy, can we combine the 2? Good point.
You can apply the 2, but you haven't had a proposal in a seconder yet.
In that case,
go on.
In that case, I wish to propose that the council support the 2 recommendations from the Christmas Lights and Mistletoe Working Party, please.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Please?
I will second that. Right. Start again then. Councillor Mark Clark.
For both proposals. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Councillor Rebecca Clark.
For both proposals, thank you.
Councillor Sean Cullen.
For both proposals.
Councillor Sandra Delamere.
For both proposals.
Councillor Philip Dowd.
For both proposals.
Councillor Alan Fairhead.
For both proposals.
Councillor Matt Kitcher.
For both proposals.
Councillor Simon Lodge. Simon? You're muted. I can't hear you. We can't hear. Was that?
Four.
Yeah, I think
That was four.
yeah, I get the fact he's going for it, but we can't hear him. Okay. Councillor David Marshland.
For both.
Councillor Stephanie Roberts is here. Councillor Melody Roberts.
For both proposals.
Councillor Alex Wade.
For both proposals.
And myself for both proposals. It is unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Kitcher, for getting that ready for us. We now move on to item 12, the Economic Working Group, to receive the notes of the Economic Development Working Group meeting held on the 30th of March. And that is me. So I will present the minutes, the notes of the meeting, page by page, and this is just for your noting, really, and to say agreement. Right, we'll start with page 39. Page 40, page 41. Everybody happy with that? Excellent, good. Okay, now we're moving swiftly on to delegated decisions, item 13. Sean, do you want to say something about this? Which is page 43 and 44.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Just to clarify, any decisions made have either been to support parish-based organisations or community assets in terms of the market, and to allow the council to continue to operate effectively.
Thank you. In this, and it really is all of us a once-in-a-lifetime experience, the use of delegated decision has been the only way we could conduct some of our business in a socially distanced environment. I'm sure everywhere, and many councils are doing the same. So we're just following government guidelines in how we operate. Anybody want to make any comments? Okay, well, that's for noting, isn't it, really? We don't need to make any decision on that. Right, we now move to the second to last item, which is an outside body representative to appoint a representative trustee to serve on a dividend allotments fund. Can I have a nomination, please?
Chairman, can I nominate Councillor Stephanie Osborne? I know she's willing to take up the role, and I think she would be a suitable person to be on that Board of Trustees. So
Could I have a seconder?
I would like to second her.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay. As this is an outside body, as there are no other nominations, do we need to take a vote on this? We didn't. Another one. We do. Should we have done that with the other? Okay. Right. Okay. We will on this one. Right. You ready? Councillor Mark Clark.
For the proposal, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Councillor Rebecca Clark.
For.
Councillor Sean Cullen.
For.
Councillor Sandra Delamere.
For.
Councillor Philip Dow.
For.
Councillor Alan Fairhead.
For.
Councillor Matt Kitcher.
I am for the proposal.
Councillor Simon Lodge. For. Get that. Councillor David Marshland.
For.
Councillor Osborne is not here. Councillor Melody Roberts.
For.
Councillor Alex Wade.
For.
And myself, I will be abstaining on that one because I know we have enough. Okay, right. Well, thank you very much, members. That's that one sorted out. We now come to the final item on the agenda, which is to finance 2019-20. A, to receive the bank reconciliation reports for February 2020 to April 2020. To receive the accounts of payment for February 2020 to April 2020. To receive the end of Q3 financial strategy report, to receive the end of Q4 financial strategy report. Do we probably need to vote on this, or is this for noting? Tracy?
Sorry, you need to vote that you agree to the schedule of payments as they are.
Okay, members, do you have any comments, or can we propose? I will propose that you vote on this en bloc. Can I have a seconder for that, please?
Second.
Okay. Do you want to make any comments before we vote, members? Okay. So we're proposing en bloc that we receive and agree those A, B, C, and D. Did somebody say something then? No. Okay. Right. Is that all right, Tracy?
Yes, that's fine.
Brilliant. Councillor Mark Clark. You're muted. Councillor Rebecca Clark.
For.
Councillor Sean Cullen.
For.
Councillor Sandra Delamere.
For.
Councillor Philip Dowd.
For.
Councillor Alan Fairhead,
For.
Councillor Matthew Kitcher,
For the proposal.
Councillor Simon Lodge,
For.
Councillor David Marshland,
For.
Councillor Osborne's not here, Councillor Melody Roberts,
For.
Councillor Alex Wade,
For.
and myself is for. It is unanimous. That, members, is the last item agenda. Thank you very much for your forbearance. It's the first time I've chaired a virtual meeting. It's an interesting experience. And I would like to thank you all and I wish you God bless and good night. Stay safe.